Alright, good evening heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C, in which I'll be doing some more Cinera bug fixing. Yesterday we fixed... Oh, I've got the wrong terminal. Hang on a second. There we go. Hopefully you can see this a bit clearer. Yesterday I fixed these two bugs here. The max ref identifier sanity stuff and the claim buffer checking that there's enough space left in the arena. So I think those guys are good to go. Just turn down the volume a little bit. And I've got 2 hours of music lined, 2 hours and 11 minutes of music lined up. I suppose also before I continue, actually, I just mentioned that yesterday's stream was 2.5 hours long or so. I recorded it locally, as you may remember, because Twitch is twitching, as is its wont. And it took 7.5 hours to upload to YouTube. So I've kind of worked out that, like, I can do a maximum of 6 hours streaming per day if I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Because it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours stream, 7.5 to upload. So that was like 3 times the amount of time. So if I do a 6 hour stream, that'll take 18 hours to upload, and 6 plus 18 will give us the full 24 hours in a day. So, yeah. But anyway, let's just double check that I'm coming through. Yep, mic's coming through. The music isn't coming through, which is good, which means that I won't get copyright banned. And the webcam is on. The terminal is the bigger font terminal. So I think we can go for it. Oh, actually, I was looking at these, and I think I wanted to rejig these a bit. I mean, it's not very important, honestly, because it's basically they're all going to get done. But I believe the fix multiple refs all at the same time, same offset. I think that's a bug rather than a feature. And I'll say that the comma separation is also the same thing. So I think what I'd like to do is investigate allowed characters member names. So I think I'm not exactly sure whether this is my bug or whether this is hmmlib.h's bug. So I'm just going to pop that there for now, and I'm going to first of all figure out this correct handling of member names at the start of text node. So basically all this is if I do something like this, insofar as it expresses sheer and unadulterated joy. Right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this should fail. Unexpected video closed tag not found. So there is a video closed tag there. It's interesting. Let's just let's give us a couple more. So let's just make this be. Let's make these be normal ones. Unexpected thing after text node. Yeah, right. And this is on line 4. So it's apparently well, this line this might be the following line. I need to kind of straighten out this actually, the numbering. So I should make a note of that actually. Straighten out the error line numbers. So this should be legal, and to make this work, you can do that, and then it works. But that's not what you would necessarily want to be doing. You should be allowed to say this. Yeah, this guy's actually already saying it down here. So I think that's my bug. I mean, could that maybe that's also an HMM lib bug as well. But let's see. Let's I just better think after text node. I'm not so sure how to go about this actually. And also I hope you've got your music on at home. Once again, this is a bring your own music stream. Unexpected thing after text mode. So yeah. Well, hang on a minute. If you're saying that, it's meant to end a file. Video closed out, not file. Right, yeah. So this is actually being reported by HMMLib. So I think it'd be in here. So this is all in flex lang. HMLib.l. Is that a thing? Yeah. Kind of pass marker. So yeah, I'm actually getting two errors, aren't I? Two different ones. Unexpected end of file, and unexpected thing after text node. Okay. I think I might have to report a bug in HMMLib. Yeah, because I mean, if I'm seeing this, if this is getting output, then I believe I'm not in control of it. Like HMML to HTML. isn't, it doesn't have control at this point. I don't think. So yeah, maybe I can't actually do this fix. And also the allowed characters in member names. So a valid member name is this. Right. If I do that, okay, so that does give me something. What was it? Was it? Oh, hang on a minute. Was it like was it this? I wonder. No. There was some issue that I remember. I wanted to use a particular character. Oh, yeah, I don't actually use that yet, do I? Insofar as, okay. So what was the issue that I had? It was in the, because I remember having like a sort of thing where we use the, did I mention Anju in it? No. Yunsub. Nope. Convention. Right. So yeah, previously with that. Not to clash with the username requirements of the associated network. Guest, yeah, so y_Lee. Let's just see. Because I'm trying to remember trying to. Oh, hang on a minute. It might not be here. It might be in HTML to YouTube. HTML to YouTube. Well. Yeah, that gets turned into chat comment. So maybe that isn't an issue after all. Why they express shown on residential. Okay. So maybe that just isn't an issue anymore for some reason. You best get allowed characters in member names. So I've done that. So correctly handle member name, member start of text notes. I think I need to report this to insofar as. Let's make that a question mark. Ask insofar as. So yeah. So that's a couple of things we've looked at. A common separation of greater than 2 reference identifiers at the same offset. Fix multiple refs, all at the same, possibly not -1 offset. Okay, so this needs some more mocking up. Let's just undo all of these things so we can get some references. So this was greater than 2 references at the same offset. Right, that should be enough, I think. So yeah, it does build. There's our 3 references. It's basically this situation here. I want 1. So we've got 2 and 3, which are limited by a comma, but the 1 isn't. So basically I need to do a loop. I need to loop back through everyone who's at the same offset. It's identifier, isn't it? Annotation data. So yeah, it's this. Also, it might be kind of nice if we could, you know, make them all be part of the same superscript thing. I don't know if that would be overkill. We can see what's happening here. We've got one superscript person there, another superscript person, and then a third superscript person here. Really, this one needs to have the comma also. As you can see, that this guy's got a comma in front. So that's been done here. If reference x is greater than 1, so hang on, what happens if I have 4 references at the same place? Yeah, so that gives me 2. So really, what the situation is, there must be somewhere else where this copy string to buffer call happens, where I need to check, which is pretty simple. Let's just see if I can find ref identifier. What is it? It's sup as well. What were the easiest? I suppose I could maybe search for this whole string. Maybe this would be possible. Okay. So these are the only 2 places that this happens. If reference is greater than 1. I mean, it's possible I just didn't write them the same. If identify, so well, hang on, let's search for superscript. That should be enough, shouldn't it? Can I find it? Oops. Right. That's interesting. So there's no more. So apparently these are the only places where that's getting written out. Well, hold on. Ref index. What's ref index? Wow, is that it? That's quite an uninspired bug. So yeah. Yeah, right, so this is the other bug. So that's two guys at the end. Sorry, yeah, that's right. So this is building. Let's just see this. If the offset is equal to the offset minus 1. Oh, hold on a second. If there's only one reference, this might die. Well, okay. So maybe I was just trying to guard against something there that wasn't a problem. Ref index. So if it's equal to ref index minus 1. So the problem here, references. Yeah, so why doesn't that crash, I wonder? if I do references, sorry, ref index. Annotation that's 2 type HTML reference. Oh right. So yeah. Offset. So it's an offset 50. That's an offset of 1. That's interesting. I wonder if insofar as it's guarded me against this kind of a bug. Yeah, I guess it just has. I'm not even sure what you can print out from here actually. I suppose I could just check the check the thing. So what is in a reference? You've got the offset, site page URL, title. Right, yeah. Right, so that's where you get an error. Oh, if there isn't one. If there isn't a thing. So this is just trying to access the offset. Okay, so yeah, this does seem to be safe then. I wonder what -2 gives you. That gives you a death. That gives you 50. This should crash, I believe. Well, maybe not. That crashes. So what, let's have a look at what I've got actually in my thing. So I've got the one reference. um, 50. So you've got 2 at the same offset. I've got 2 and then 50. Is it really just 2 though? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, because we're looking at the one previously. Well, maybe this is fine. Yeah, let's just say it's fine. So now let's just add some more stuff. So we find the 2, and then we enter a busy loop, or an infinite loop. So where is that happening? Let's break here. Yeah, I know it's unused. So cgdb args. It's going to run up to there, and let's print. So that's our 2. So let's say display that. Well, hang on, I don't see any more, do I? I only see the 2, and then it enters the busy loop. So let's just step through and just see what happens. So it sees this ref index, ref identifier. So yeah, we're not at the end. So yeah, we're going to enter this loop. All the annotation reference counts. Reference that. Let's so reference is 1. That's 2. Yeah. So we should be entering this, shouldn't we? This should go into this loop, yeah. Oh, hang on, it's still checking. Oh, that's interesting. Shouldn't that have well, it's going to continue anyway, isn't it? Where am I? Text pointer. So this passes the in pointer, take away the annotation text is equal. That it's probably just a bug in that, isn't it? What is this? That's 52. And that's 50. Ref index is 1, isn't it? And there are 2 references. Let's put a breakpoint there as well, actually. Let's just run it again. Okay. Yes, there's still 2 reference count. Let's just display the and also so we're at the start of the text. Oh, right, so we're going to fail this test a lot of times. Ref index is still 0. Can I put a breakpoint here? Okay. Okay, so this means that we're moving through the annotation text. So basically, we just want to continue until we get into this loop. I suppose technically, actually, now that I'm displaying it, it's going to keep displaying it. Well, maybe not. So now we've made it to the 50th character. If I just go to my test, that should mean that there are 50 characters there. 51. Okay. Oh, is that off by 1 actually? Why did we enter this thing? If that is equal to the offset. Because the offset is still... What is that? That is 50. And what did we say? 51. Oh, it would be because of this. Yeah, that's more like it. So Oh, and here's my test code. So we've got to here. Did I increment any of these guys? Sure I didn't. Well, maybe I did, but... So yeah, this means that it's not the second. It's not the second or more consecutive reference at the same offset. Okay. So then we continue. Ah, hang on a minute. Text.pointer plus plus is equal to in pointer plus plus. This might be incorrect. This is probably the closing superscript thing, yeah. This will be 1, yeah. So I think this shouldn't be happening. $17.76. That's kind of cool. Didn't realise that would actually update. Still in the text node. Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? I think the issue is that we've already moved past we've moved past the point where the next ref offset is. So really what I think we need to do is, when we see a reference, we then at that point we want to see if there are any more at that offset before continuing the loop. Because basically the situation is here, if there's still some stuff to come, then it will go ahead and like move on, which we can't have it doing. So really it is this loop here, I'm pretty sure, or rather it's this little portion. So yeah, this needs to be in a loop of some sort. Maybe it needs to go to here actually. What that was saying? Oh, hang on a minute, is this all in the same loop though? Or rather in the same branch? Yeah, it is, isn't it? So I think, really, rather than this being an if, let's make this a while. Right. And maybe this would just fix it automatically. I don't know if that could be true at all. Wow. Well, I don't know actually. Wow. Okay. So the fix there was simply to turn this if into a while. It's kind of hilarious actually. Programming, eh? Programming. It's easier than you think. Let's just double check that hasn't broken anything else. Yeah, okay. So basically the two things that I fixed there are turning this if into a while, and like making this not bother to check if the ref index is greater than 1. Which I think has fixed everything. Unless I'm completely mistaken, but I think it has. Common separate regression to ref indices at the same offset. But are the same, possibly not. -1 offset. Yeah. So I think that these guys are both done. But there's no issue after all. So investigate that. Straighten out the error line numbers. Reference combinations. Use flash control using valid combination. Yeah, okay. I mean, how long have I been going? Less than an hour. Quotes from empty text node. Consider using base. Close regular topics. So I think reference combinations will be quite a bit of code, I think. Straighten out the error line numbers. Yeah, again, I don't think this is my bug. I don't think it is. And also, it won't be as easy to test this now, because I've actually started to handle stuff correctly. Oh, this was a... this was just an infinite loop, wasn't it? So it's not here. It's actually... Well, hang on, surely I can trigger some error. Yeah, like if I just don't do that, for example. What's that saying? Intervals I'm just referred to zero throughout this thing. Wow, okay, so that isn't particularly easy to use. That's kind of interesting, actually. Why is that valid? What is better thing after text node T? This is on line 2. Okay, and that is on line 2 as well. So maybe that is fine. Don't know what. I don't suppose this should be allowed. Like, what does that actually output? So it does. So I don't know. Maybe the line numbers are all right. Reference combinations use flags to show that there are line numbers. I mean, they actually seem fine. They actually seem fine. I remember the text node, so that's insofar as purview. There's no issue at all. So the only bug left is the reference combinations in C. Let's just see what else is there. First node is text node. Continue to base it. I mean, I suppose technically the quotes and empty text node might be considered a bug as well. I'm sort of avoiding the reference combinations thing a bit because I just know there'd be quite a lot of stuff to type. So what are we looking for here? Quotes with an empty text node. So you need to do a text node and then you say quote 1. Stay risky everyone. So it already does it. So why did I have that as a note? Hang on a minute. How do you do this? So it's quote. I'm going to queen break 8. So did I not save it? Something. Oops. So yeah, I'm just not handling it at all, am I? Yeah, right. Right, so the actual bug is oh, that was under feature anyway. Okay. So they are doing it. What the actual bug though is quote node alternative speaker maybe. Quote node alternative speaker. Someone other than the host being quoted. Excuse me. Right, has a quote. Build quotes. Yeah, I'm using the wrong thing here, aren't I? Oh, hang on, am I? Quote ID, quote directory. Quote identifier, quote ID. Stream username. Let's just take a look at the lib. And it's quotes. Author, right, yeah. So it's HTML quote, author. Let's just see what build quote actually does. So the speaker, right, I see, yeah, so it's just taking the speaker as the streamer, isn't it? So basically, this is the wrong thing. It should be saying yeah, so if there's, it's basically, if there's a speaker, then it does the, it sends the speaker, let me just double check. Sorry, author, right. Otherwise, it will say, if there's a stream username, it will use that. I think that's more like what you want. Yeah. Don't get me started, so that'll be Abner's quote. So then here, rather than saying Mio, you wanted to say the actual person, obviously. Quarter. And then it's the same thing again, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Right, yeah, it's all this again. I think that should be correct. Quote byline. And then it's just the same here, isn't it? Now it says I'm Nico Imre. Awesome. Don't get me started. Would this work, or would it need to be Handmade Hero? I think it needs to be Handmade Hero. Oh, okay, not Mr. Compiler. There we go. Cool. But if there isn't a person, it just uses the actual person. Right. Okay, so that was kind of cool. That worked out pretty nicely. So yeah, just reference combinations. Oh, hang on. Straighten out the O line numbers, that should be fine. Yeah. Create a handle, member start technos. Ask insofar as. So yeah, URL timestamp. Got no idea how I'm going to start to look into that, honestly. Quote to them to text node, ensure they actually write the quote text, and they do seem to do. Let me just double check actually. If I write something in here, right, so skip everyone. Oh, I might not have Criff as quotes. Oops. Should put it as quotes, yeah. So I think it's there, yeah. Yeah, and there's Criff quotes coming in. Something in here. Let me fix that, then we should still see my poop. Said Carifa. Yeah, so that seems to be working okay. So let's undo all of that to get back to our original test. So yeah, just reference combinations is the last thing to do. I suppose technically actually I could do the meta name because that would be dead easy. Color visit, what's quote store? That could be for another time. Yeah, I think because those first things were pretty easy to do, I think in the spirit of actually doing some stuff that's tough to do, I think I will try and do this reference combination thing. But I just need to take a short break. Like a minute. But I wonder if there's any yeah, ref test. So yeah, it's basically going to be. I could probably just copy and paste this code, honestly. So that it might not be as much work as it seems. But give me just a minute, and I'll be right back. Really need to get this webcam to stay in position a bit better. I've got all cables like all over the place still, by the way. Like I've got a couple of things plugged into the front of the case, which like really don't need to be plugged into the front of the case at all. The webcam is one of those things. Should really sort that out. Yeah, let's see. Let me just try running this ref test on everything. There's 10 combinations. So yeah, we should actually find because I do seem to recall writing a reference that didn't have a corresponding rule or a corresponding way of handling it. But the thing was, it just silently succeeded, basically. It might not be in, it might not be one of these. It might be amongst more of the other things, basically. Let's see, there's one if here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So there is one that isn't handled. It's probably this one actually, probably URL. Article, well hang on. Title, ISBN. I don't know. But essentially, currently it silently succeeds, but it would be better, I think, if it outputs an error saying like well, basically this cannot process new combination of reference info, because as I understand it, basically what can happen is well, it could pass any of these tests, basically. Yeah, basically the thing is, right, if it has a URL, title, an author, publisher, and an ISBN, if it has all of those, then it'll pass, obviously. But if it has all of those and like an additional something else, like well, let's take an easier example. If it's got site and URL, so eight of them have site and URL, right? But if if a reference has site and URL and something else that isn't handled, that isn't covered by one of the ones up here, it would still pass this, right? Because it has both. That isn't correct. It should really use more of a masking sort of a thing to determine whether it has actually passed. So the mass starts out at 0. Is this all in main? Yeah. So this is the stats, combinations 0. So for each file, they're going to come in. Fish with an index. Right. So yeah, I think it needs to go through and set all of these masks, and then it needs to then actually test on the mask, basically. Could be mistaken, actually. So we're going to come into build reference. Start from the mask is all, the mask is 0 when you come in, which is fine. Mask all equal with the site. So that turns it into 1. So the site is 1. So we should get variable ones here. Yeah, we get 5 and 4. One shifted up 2. Where's the one shifted up 1? And why is there only 6 combinations? Why does that change it? Oh, there's 6 again. Did I just well, what's the oldest change? Sure, we said there was like 10 combinations before. Right? I didn't imagine that, did I? Yeah, 10 combinations. Ref test. So where have all the combinations gone? I didn't change anything here. Well, I just changed that. How strange. This ref test is as it was. I'm in the same directory, aren't I? Yeah. Weird. Yeah, I'm really not sure what happened there at all. Anyway, wasn't not sure why. Not sure why that isn't like that. Like, hang on. So this is going to be after site, after page. Okay. So all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get a feel for how the actual how the mask actually works. So it's 1, then 3, then 7. 1, add 2, add 4. There's 1, add 4. That's a site without a page. So at the moment, it's just adding, isn't it? Adding it with the site. Well, actually, let's end it with something a bit bigger, or it rather. So that's 2. Or actually, let's do this on this guy. So it's sometimes 7, it's sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 4. Okay. Then this time it's always 4. So basically that means that there is a URL in the mask, doesn't it? What was that again? Hmm. Hmm. So once we've come down here, so we've gone through the whole lot, right? So we want to determine, like, what are these guys doing down here again? Yeah. Stats mask. So why is that printing out so many times? That's for each thing, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Stop count. Yeah, it is bitwise operator, isn't it? Bitwise inclusive or blipwise exclusive or. So all is equal to, oh, hang on a minute. All is equal to this. XOR is equal to this. So URL is 8, I believe. Bitwise not. Okay, maybe I can't do that. equivalent to adding 2 bits and discarding the carry. The result is 0. Only when you have 2 zeros or 2 ones. Okay, so either one or the other must be. So they must be different basically for it to be on. Okay. I don't think I'm bothered about this. I know about shifting. Assignments. Am I bothered about assignment, I wonder? Well, kind of. Bitwise inclusive or assignments? And or exclusive or not. So I sort of feel like well, or equals sides. So the mask is currently 0. Oh, actually, yeah, it is. I mean, what kind of thinking is here? Like, why can't I just do this? Like that produces exactly the same thing. Let's go back to our guys. Basically, I want to come in here. I'm thinking that we want to I think we just want to loop over all the kind of those attributes. To mask if they are set, and then I want to say, and then I want to have my cases that mask tested against the attributes ordered with each other, right? So and it's just this, it's the same again, right? It's literally this loop. Right, we just add them to the mask. Well, I mean, oh yeah, also said you set the mask to be 0 at the start. So we define that, and then we say int mask is equal to 0. So yeah, it's the ref. So ordering all the stuff, and then here we go. Then instead of having these cases, it's like URL ord with the title, ord with the author, ord with the publisher, ord with the ISBN equals the mask, right? What's he complaining about? Expected identifier before that. Well, really? Oops. I think that's correct. Let's go back here a second. So at this point, we've gone through everything and set the mask against it. Yeah, so what we're saying is so what is the mask? The mask is that. And what is, for example, site order page? Site order page is 3. Site page URL. Let's just do one of those. Because there's 54 of them. So that gives us 7. And now let's see. What the mask is. So there should be a lot of 7s. Yeah, there are a lot of 7s. So maybe that's all it is. Alright. So for all of these cases, all I need to do is to make these uppercase. And replace the dot. Oops. So if all of these are equal to the mask, then we've got the right thing. 4 more to do. Go uppercase. That was mask. And then we want to change those. And then we want to change these. Change this to one of those. Oops. What? What's that got to do with anything? Did I just fat finger something, I wonder? Notice file directory. Okay. So, yeah. Oops. So this is before I started making these changes. Okay, so that seems to work. Already up to date. What is happening here? So this is Mio. Got quote 2. So this was building before. Let's just go earlier 2 hours. Yeah, right, so there was some change that I made. that has just broken the quotes. Is that the first quote that's mentioned? No, it's not. It's quotes. Consider pulling the latest quotes. So where does that happen? That happens in build quote. Right, so it's here. So okay, so this is where this is output. Quote 2 not found. Because we're passing we must be passing busted stuff to this. So that passes. So if there's a quote author, then we use the quote author. Otherwise, we say, is there a stream username? The user stream username. Otherwise, we use the member. What is this all about? Oh right, yeah. Stream username. I see, yeah. If there's a stream username, then we use that. If there's a member, then we use that. Yeah, so that seems fine. I suppose actually we could set that a bit earlier on. co-host, co-host count, guest, guest count, annotators, annotator counts, member, stream username. So basically the stream username is going to be the username of the Twitch user, or the username of the person on the streaming platform. If it's different from their member name in the in like their associated network. So for example, Nothing's Sean's Twitch username is Nothings2, but his member name in the Handmade network is Nothings. But when we had quotes, we always used the Twitch username. So that's what's going on here. Somehow quote is being passed. Oh yeah, that'll explain that. Check if that works. That does work. So if the quote has an author, then we use the quote author. Otherwise we say, is there a stream username set? And if there is, then we use that. Otherwise we use the member. I think basically I want to get rid of this stream username versus member. I want to do this earlier on, I think. Well, hang on a second. Do I want to do that? I guess we could, couldn't we? Say host. Right. And if it's an author, then we use the author. Otherwise, we just use the host. Oops. Doesn't like it still. So is there another place where build quote is being called? No. How is that getting set to quote? I suppose I could diff it, couldn't I? See what I changed. So hang on a second. Because the issue is that build quotes is getting the wrong information. Alright, so that passes. Quote author. It does a quote author. Oh, I wonder if this is a HTML lib bug actually. If there's an author. Yeah, it does feel like a HTML lib bug, I think. Gosh, I feel so bad though, just blaming everything on insofar as. Yeah, so the second time through, the quote author has become quote for some reason. Could that be my bug? So if I just don't do this test, well, hang on a minute. If it's not, yeah, if there's no author, it will it will try and test on null. So I suppose for now, actually, I could squash this by just testing that it's not quote. But this does feel like a bug. So I do think I need to tell insofar as about it. So currently have the remote starter text node asking so far as quote node alternative speaker, someone other than the host being quoted. So we have done this, but asking so far as if it's incorrectly setting the what is it? It's the, I know, it's the quote author, basically. And what is that? What is the circumstance actually? It's like if there's more than one quote. Yeah, I think that's all it is. If there's more than one quote. If it's incorrectly setting the quote author, yeah, if there's more than one quote. But it's like it sets it after having delivered up a quote. Encouraging the setting the quote author for the second. Quote node. For the second and subsequent quote node. Quote author for the second and subsequent quote node. Set annotations. Yeah, I think that's the situation. Right. Blimey. Do I have to worry about the start of text node? So, I suppose it's if it's being if HTML lib is being too aggressive in determining whether somebody is a member. Too keen to determine that someone's a member. before realizing that it may they may validly be part of the text node. So on. Ah, right. No, it's someone mentioned at the start of the text node. To mention the start of text node is the author before that they may rather be that they may merely be a part of the text node. Oops, God. So yeah, I think that's the situation. Reference combinations. So yeah. Just to make this a bit easier, just I don't need to deal with that just for now. I think I've determined that that isn't me, basically. Host. Well, and also the host thing. I might actually just back that host stuff out. Because it's only in the quotes that it actually matters which one it is. I wonder if I could just pass the entire HTML to them, actually. You know, all these people that are taking multiple things from the past annotations. I wonder if we could just pass the entire HTML kind of structure to them. You know, rather than passing individual. And then they can sort out themselves what they want to do with them. Don't know if that would be possible. So this now builds. And we get this. So we are correctly getting stuff, commented out there. So the thing we need to test here is the references. Right. So kind of present new combination reference info. Cool. Also, actually, let's just run it on everyone. Oh, right. I seem to remember that I seem to remember that it was a risky business one, so let's just see. Right. Can't accommodate 115 character string. God, what was that? Oh dear. So that squashed that bug. Like I say though, I do need to do statistical gathering on all of these things to see exactly how much of these buffers I'm actually using. There we go. Can I press a new combination of reference info? So this is book 2, line 73. Yeah, right. So, perfect. So we've got author, site, page, URL. So let's see if I can make a case for this. And also, now that I'm actually using flags, it doesn't matter which order these guys go in. Whereas it kind of did before. I kind of needed to do them in the order that they appeared. So, yeah, author, site, page, URL. Author, site, page, URL. Okay. So, else if author, site, page, URL. Oh, I see. Right, yeah. So the ID, the ID would be the what do we want to do for this? Basically, we need to everybody needs to have an ID, and hang on, they need to have an ID, a source, a ref title, and a URL. Why are they not lined up as well? Copy string no format. Oh, that just doesn't need to do the copy string no format, I think, for some reason. I wonder why that is. You know, I wonder why some do and some don't. But if if we've got an ID, if we've got a URL, we want to use that for the ID. Use that for that. Source. So we've got site, author, and page. Page. So the ref title comes with page. This would probably be the site, I reckon. Source. So yeah, the source is basically the thing that's up there. So what actually is this? So it's Twitter, author Krista Stanovich. So maybe we set the ref title to be the ref author, then a colon, then the ref page. Would that be such a bad idea? So you want to copy into there. That be valid? Okay, kind of will. And there we go. It's squashed that error. And that ends up looking like this. Actually, yeah, let's try that. Twitter, Christmas Stanovich. Yeah, so yeah. I think that's more like it. So yeah, new combination. Contact. Nicola. Can I press a new combination of reference info? Either tweak your HTML, tweak your tweak your annotation, or contact matt@dev.org. So that sounds fair. So can I just give myself a fake, like, pretty sure this was one of them, wasn't it? Oops. Can I press a new combination reference info? And it hasn't actually. Oh, there's more than one area that I do that. Ah, interesting. Okay, fine. It's tweet annotation or contacts matt@dev.org. I think that sounds fair. Content management with details of tweet annotation or contact Matt with Of course. Just grab all those again. Oh, I always forget the new line. That was my old bug, and it seems to be my. It just keeps existing. It's gonna be my perennial mistake. Can I press a new combination of reference info? Either tree annotation or content match outside my different role mention the ref node you want to write and how you want it to appear in the references menu. Oops. Yeah, okay. I think that sounds fair. And I believe that now we've fixed this. Reference combinations use flags to ensure that we are using a valid combination. Yeah, and we are now. So this is pretty good. I think I'm going to call it here. But over the last 2 days, I've fixed all of these bugs. And investigated other ones. Quote node alternative speaker we have, well, that was a new thing that we tried to do. But it seems that HMM lib is possibly throwing us a curveball there. And then the member at start of text node. I think HMM lib is also responsible for that as well. So I need to ask insofar as these two things. URL timestamp, I've still been putting that off, but I think... Oh, interface is here. Possibly, yeah. So let me show you. Right, here we go. So yeah, we've got 2 quotes here. We've got quote 1 and quote 2. Unfortunately, it does manage to process the first quote. Right, actually, I need to explain some more actually as well. Right. HTML to YouTube to thingamajig. So yeah, it's the quotes. Right, yeah, it's this. So previously I wasn't handling the author, right? I was just using the either the stream username or the member, right? And if I do that, that does work. But if I try and test against the author, then it dies, right? Basically, I'm getting the author. Well, hang on. Why did that fail? Stream username. Actually, sorry, I think HTML dot metadata. I did manage to print this out before. Stream username. Hold on a minute. Let me actually I think I can print it off in build quotes. Yeah, right. So the first time through, it identified Mio as the speaker that it was passed. But the second time through, it thought it was quote. Now, just to make that a bit clearer. Right. And then it tried to look in that directory and then the quote, and there's no such thing. So somehow it's getting quote from somewhere. And I did manage to narrow this down, and I thought I narrowed it down to it being well, hang on a minute, let me just check the notes. If it's set in the quote.author for the second and subsequent quote node in a set of annotations. So yeah, I think that's what it was trying to do. Let me just say if I know quote, well, mind you, even this might die. Yeah, so it's found quote, so it's getting quote from somewhere and stuffing that into the quote author. Which I think is the responsibility of HMMlib. Yeah, sure. There is also another bug as well. The other thing is correctly handling members at the start of text node. So I can show you how this exhibits itself as well. Basically, if you just put a member at the start, it then says this. Unknown character after timecode. So it just can't do it, basically. So line 5. Yeah. I mean, to simplify this, actually, I think I can just say I think this, yeah, end of file, yeah. So basically that's a couple of things that I think might be in HMMlib. But yeah, I'll totally send this to you. How is that just case disambiguated from the author? So it's disambiguated, I think. Let's just see. I would say it's so the way I do it in my mind is like if there's only one node, well, hang on, if there's a valid, if the node that you're in ends up being a text node. Let's just see. So this should pass, I think, shouldn't it? Yeah. That passes. So the minimum that an annotation needs to have is a time code and a text node. I think the specification for an author. Here we go. The specification for an author is that it has to be. It has to be the only thing in the text node. Sorry, it has to be the only thing in the node. So if it is on its own, then we assume it's the author. We assume that it's the author, and then we continue, and then we see if there is a text node. And if there is a text node, then we can say, okay, this is definitely the author of this text node. But if there isn't a text node, then we say, well, actually, I think this is probably the text node. I think that would be how we disambiguate it. Would that work? Might complicate things. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't actually. I couldn't, for example, kind of work around it by doing this, because I do want this to be known to be a member, if you know what I mean. So I think what I ended up doing was I just sort of said, I just wrote some spam basically at the start. I just padded it out to work around it. But yeah, for some reason I did kind of want to be able to do that in the annotation. It just failed basically. So that's what that was like. And then this, I think this is the one that fails with the quote. Yeah. Okay. So let me get this quote to you. Oh, sorry, the actual file. There you go. And you'll also need the new code actually. Well, hang on. Yeah, I should push this code. Well, actually, no. You could probably investigate it with just HMMlib, I guess. But I will post this code. So the only thing I changed, so I did those guys. And was going to investigate allowed codes, and apparently there's no issue after all. Yep. Common version of greater than 2 ref identifiers, fix multiple refs, all at the same offset. They might actually be fine. Yeah, right. So those guys were fine. So I didn't really do anything with that. Common version of greater than that. There's multiple refs, all the same offset. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll push these changes, but I won't make them into a new release just yet. Like I won't tag them until we've got this bug sorted out. So let's just see. Git add HTML to C. Git commit. Yeah, that's fine. So investigate log minimum names. We've done. So So basically it's reference bug fixing. Yeah, basically it's just this. Comes over the same set. It's multi-rest while the same, possibly not monoset. Which combination is used to ensure that we are using valid combination. And then also we also handle quote speakers other than the host, but appear to hit a bug in HMM handle quote speakers other than the host, but appear to hit a bug. In which the quote author is being set to quote for the second subsequent quote node in a set of annotations. It's a bug. In which it got set. Is it quote? The second subsequent quote node in a set of annotations. Yeah, okay. I think that'll do it, I think. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've pushed that. Yeah. So I've been going for a couple of hours now. I think 3 hours yet. Yeah, almost 3 hours. So this will take absolutely years to upload. Nice that there's no drop frames. But I think I'll call it a day there. And return tomorrow, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. Possibly the URL timestamp. Possibly handle the quote stuff differently. Quote and member stuff differently. Because it's still very possible that I'm busted, maybe. And then potentially clear some of these features. And then finally we'll be on to building up the index page so that we can actually generate a full kind of episode list and like all the pages for the player, so that we can actually host Risky Business somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we'll do. For now though, thank you very much for being heroic and beautiful and generally awesome. And yeah, farewell for now. Wow. And yeah, as if by magic, it's if I was just already fixed it. So yeah, I don't know, should I stick around and just try it out? Let me see if I can pull already. Get pull. So there is a change. But you mean the quote, or the other thing will take some more effort? Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have thought, actually. Get stash. So, what was the one change that I was like in HTML lib.l, wasn't it? So I need to go back and build the new guy, I presume. And then I need to copy HTML.a to, well, yeah, copy them all. Why not? So I've got that. Then if I rebuild my guy, hang on. .c, where is it? Yeah. So I've rebuilt my guy. Yay, and it worked. So the thing was, yeah, it was just this, wasn't it? Yep. Fantastic. So that deserves a great big plus insofar as. Yeah, and I think we should wait until we should wait until the other thing is resolved as well, I think. So let's pick up the notes. So I don't know, set the quote author for the second. So yeah, what was actually happening? By the way, if it's easy to describe. So. Yep. Yes, it's Varus. How about it? We fixed it. Almost before I could explain it. It's for the issue. Yeah, so I think that deserves a tick, I think. The quote thing gets matched in two places. The main one where there's no category is matched with a quote, but the other just use that. Oh, I see. Right. The main one where there's no categories, yeah, matched with quote. So enter the quote state after category, so there's still the quote text left there, which is the quote state assumed wasn't. Ah, right. Interesting. Ah, right, yeah. So that was the issue. The main when there's no categories matched with quotes. The other used that. I see. So it goes through the category node, and it then assumes that if there's another node, it's got to be a quote node. There's still the quote text left there, which the quote status seen with the author. Ah, yeah, right. So it reads through that. I see. Just saying quote to the originals, which is yeah, right. Interesting. So I wonder if this kills it. Yeah. Do I actually have that properly documented? I mean, surely I do. Takes the form that a category code with a category. Optional orders must occur when present in the specified order. Yeah, right. Oh, but the rest of it. Yeah, okay. Right, interesting. Fantastic. Well, yeah, thank you very much for sorting that out. So yeah, that the haste bit now is redundant, isn't it? Because that was the thing that had the this test in. Yeah, and you know what the other one is? Just that, basically. Yeah, cool. So that was a nice encore, wasn't it? Just before I go, I will just see. So there's to do. Oh yeah, right. So I don't really need that anymore. I suppose I think I've got some notes in build reference as well. Yeah. So I don't really need that. I'm just checking any more to-dos I just threw around the place. Just goes in reverse. I do like that that's still in there. For like hyper optimal quote stuff. This is the. Yeah, I didn't even touch that today. To do map. What is this? Skip indentation white space. Oh, is this? This is the config, isn't it? Yeah, which was all. Yeah, it was if so out anyway. Multiple annotators. Yes, that still needs to be done. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've sorted out everything I needed to. So yeah, that is all. Once again, thank you for being heroic and awesome, and especially doing so fast and just being like ahead of the curve. And until tomorrow, farewell for now.